Hello everybody, CritCrab here with another story. This guy is straight up terrible, not only as a player, but also as a DM. So buckle down and roll post. The party was 3 other new players, and a DM who had played the game for a few years. I knew the game from actual play shows like Critical Role, so I decided to roll up a half-elf wizard to fill in the role of a caster. The rest of the party was a ranger, rogue, and fighter. We played through Lost Mines of Phandelver and then moved on to a homebrew campaign with the same characters. The group had amazing synergy. However, our rogue and rangers sometimes had to miss a session or two, so our DM, let's call him Brad, said he could bring one of his friends from an older group. He told us some stories about him, and he seemed nice. Let's call him Kevin. So after about 3 months of playing, we all get together to finally play our first session with Kevin. We chill out for a bit and introduce ourselves, and then start the game. Kevin introduces his character, who we rescue from a cage. It's an ASMR bard.
I always pick the race that buffs my main stat, he says.
Okay, a bit metagamey, but whatever. Then his character asked that party if they knew where Jake Bluewind was. Now, my wizard's backstory was that he was named Jake Bluewind and had accidentally killed his mentor while learning magic, so he ran away and adopted a new name. I realized this and told the rest of the party to keep it on the down low since they knew my secret. But that night, Kevin's character mind controls the rogue and has the rogue spill my secret. It annoyed me that Kevin had metagame to know to dominate the rogue, but whatever. I figured it would lead to an interesting bit of roleplay where I could confront my past and atone for it. No such thing. About an hour later, my wizard gets sick and passes out in his bedroom. Turns out, Kevin's bard had chosen to poison my character's drink. The bard then proceeded to walk into my room as I'm coughing up blood and destroy my spellbook and any evidence. After failing my death saves, my wizard died and I was a little bit peeved. The first time I meet this dude, and less than 6 hours later my character's dead, but I wrote it off as a fluke. That, unfortunately, was not the case at all. After that campaign ended, Brad took a break from DMing and Kevin asked to run Storm King's Thunder. Kevin had done some stuff that had annoyed me since my wizard's death, but I didn't really mind. I made an orcish sorcerer, and we started the campaign. The first thing that threw me off was that Kevin emailed me my backstory. He just told me what my backstory was. I like to write really in-depth stories so that I can get into the headspace since I'm a drama nerd deep down, but here he was giving me a really crappy backstory about being a secret agent, but being a pushover, I wrote it off. We show up to the first session and everyone is talking about their stories they wrote, so it was just me. Then the game starts. Everyone shows off the starting magic item they got customized to their character, which of course I did not get. So halfway through the first session we have to fight some town guards, and they've been controlled by an evil warlock. There's 12 town guards and it seems like Kevin has no concept of the action economy. We try to escape, but they have you surrounded, so you know you can't escape. Then the guards start focusing on me, the backline caster, who honestly has been doing poorly the entire time. Virtually all of them attack me. Eventually, I go down and start rolling saves. When the paladin tries to heal me, Kevin says, "You don't know the sorcerer that well, so you wouldn't try to use your divine power to heal him." At that moment, the paladin gets up, hands his player sheet to the DM, and says, "Here, you're gonna need this if you're gonna be playing my character." He then gets up, tells me that he and a bunch of buddies were gonna play a better game that night, and then everybody at the table stands up and starts clapping, and then none of that actually happened. What really happened was the paladin decided to play along, so I didn't get healed and I died on the very first session. So after 2 more sessions of Storm King's Thunder, the group decides they want to go back to Brad's DMing, including Kevin, so the campaign is dropped. This time I decide to roll up a blood hunter human. Now this is important. I'm a bisexual dude who isn't out to my group. So I wrote this character as a female general looking for her missing wife, as sort of a litmus test to see if they were cool. When we began, the group tried to hit on my character, but once they realized she wasn't into dudes, they backed off and were respectful. Except for Kevin, of course. Now, Kevin is a pretty hardline Mormon dude, which I don't mind, but when I told the group my character was gay, he put his head in his hands and grumbled something under his breath. I didn't pay much mind, but it stuck with me. A few sessions later, after revealing that the person I was searching for was not only my fellow general, But my wife, Kevin, said some really nasty stuff concerning my wife and a Goliath. The table got weirdly silent, and I just tried to move on, but it really ticked me off so much I decided to fake a family emergency and leave a couple hours early. I called Brad the next day and told him stuff needed to be done about Kevin. He said he agreed, and we're in talks to decide what to do with him. At this point, I'd rather he not show up at the table anymore, which looks like it's what's gonna happen. But honestly, screw Kevin. Well, another example of how not to be a complete and total wangrod. I guess the only lesson here is don't single people out just because you want to be a discriminatory prick. Also, I just set up a Twitter account so that I can interact with all of you on a much more personal level. Because, let's be honest, the YouTube comments section is okay, but as a community of 28 people as of this recording, I feel like we would all be a bit closer if we had another platform to engage in that sort of discussion on. So, by all means, shoot me a follow, send me a message, any of that good stuff. Anyways, that does it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, then please do leave me a like, and if you want to see more of my content, then please do subscribe. This has been CritCrab, and till next time.